Morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today to present our research titled Management and Implementation of Recyclable Waste, the Case of Karaman Province. My name is Seyma Yilmaz, and I'm a graduate student at Karamanoğlu Mehmet Bey University in Turkey. Together with my colleague Ahmet Alpersain, who is not here today, unfortunately, we conducted this study to evaluate the management of recyclable waste in Karaman and explore ways to improve sustainability efforts in the region. Here is what we will cover today: a brief introduction to the global waste problem and why we selected Karaman, and our conceptual framework with key terms, national policy and developments in Turkey, and then Karaman's case, current practices, data and challenges, and finally conclusions and recommendations. Let's begin with the introduction part. With growing urbanization and consumption, global waste production has surged, threatening ecosystems and public health. Waste management is now a critical issue. In Turkey, total waste generation rose by over 4% between 2020 and 2022, reaching 109.2 million tons. While regulations and infrastructure have improved, problems like low recycling rates and limited public awareness persist. And we chose Karaman Province because it presents many mid-sized regions with both rural and urban features. It has also taken steps towards sustainability, making it a very valuable case to examine local implementations. Before we move into national and local data, let's take a moment to define some key concepts that form the foundation of our study. Waste refers to any material discarded because it's no longer useful to its owner. It may exist in solid, liquid, or gas form, and if not properly managed, it can cause environmental degradation and health hazards. Recyclable waste includes materials like paper, plastic, glass, and metal that can be collected, processed, and reused. Recycling reduces landfill pressure, conserves natural resources, and saves energy. Waste management covers the entire process of waste handling, from its generation to collection, transport, treatment, recycling, and final disposal, of course. An effective waste management system is essential for public health and environmental protection, actually. Zero waste management takes this a step further by aiming to eliminate waste altogether. It promotes a circular economy where materials are constantly reused, repaired, or recycled. Reverse logistics is another term. It refers to the movement of products of materials from consumers back to producers. This system allows for the recovery, recycling, or proper disposal of items and supports sustainable supply chains. Now that we have clarified these key terms, let's take a closer look at how recyclable waste is managed at the national level in Turkey. Turkey, located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, has experienced rapid urbanization and industrial growth, which has intensified environmental pressures, especially in waste generation and disposal. Since 1970s, Turkey has gradually shifted from landfilling to recycling. After the 1990s, there was a major step forward when waste started to separate it by type, as like paper, plastic, metal, and glass. The environmental law of 1983 marked an important legal milestone. Later in 2020, the Turkish Environment Agency was established to strengthen environmental governance and promote zero waste practices. The National Waste Management Plan, which started in 2016, set recycling and recovery goals across provinces. However, there are still major challenges. Recycling remains a costly industry, and Turkey's incentive mechanisms are limited compared to the European Union. In short, although progress has been made, further investment and stronger enforcements are needed to ensure that national goals translate into local improvements. Now, let's move on to our case study. Karaman Province Located in central Anatolia in Turkey, the population is approximately 262,000 and million, and its economy is based on agriculture, livestock, and industry, especially biscuit and bulgur production. According to 2023 Karaman Environmental Study Report, the city produced around 64,944 tons of waste annually, with 0.84 kilograms of waste generated per person per day. The composition of household waste is diverse. Kitchen waste is 25%. Plastics, metal, and glass make up a significant portion of the remainder. Karaman has made several improvements in waste management. The city operates 20 mobile collection centers and 5 composting facilities. It earned a zero waste certificate in 2019. In 2021, over 5 million kilograms of packaging waste was recycled. In 2023, 8,750 kilograms of used cooked vegetable oil was processed separately. Despite these efforts, challenges remain, of course. For example, the number of non-hazardous waste recovery facilities has declined. Only 18.6% of recyclable waste is collected, although 30.36% of solid waste is recyclable. Public awareness is low, it is really low, and only 21% of residents separate their waste, and composting is underused despite the availability of machines. Some areas face difficulties in waste classification at the same time. However, there are still promising initiatives have emerged. As you can see here, there are some projects in Karaman. It is called in Turkish Dönüştür, which is recycle projects. It educates children and families. And the other project, which is Waste to Art project at Karaman High School, it turns waste into creative products to raise awareness. These programs are important for fostering a culture sustainability, but they need to be expanded and supported by infrastructure and public participation. And to conclude, our study shows that Karaman has made encouraging progress in recyclable waste management, especially in infrastructure and municipal efforts. However, several key areas need attention, of course. Public awareness, it must be increased through education in school and communities. Infrastructure investment is essential, especially in rural areas. Collection rates should be boosted with incentive like deposit return systems. Collaboration between local authorities, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and the private sector can improve results. And finally, national policies must be adapted to local realities to ensure long-term success. And that is it. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your listening. I'd be happy if you have any questions.